Welcome back to Maiko's Damn Delicious. I've been really good, and as a reward, I'm gonna make something that isn't the most friendly on the waistline, but it is to absolutely die for in terms of excellent taste. It is called Fettuccine Alfredo, and it is one of the first dishes I learned how to make when I started off in the restaurant business when I was 13 years old as a dishwasher at Mike's by the Bucket in San Jose, California. I worked really hard washing dishes, and I became very friendly with all the line cooks because I wanted to learn how to cook. This was the first dish they taught me how to make by scratch, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's super easy. Right now, I've got a pot of boiling salt water that I'm gonna drop a pound full of good fettuccine Alfredo. I really like the Barilla brand. It's very tasty, very fresh. I'll put that in here. Always stir it up. I don't add oil to it. Some people add oil. I just use salted water and I stir it so they don't clump. So get that all underwater so it starts cooking. This is gonna take about 10 minutes to cook, which is perfect because that's about how long it'll take for me start to finish to get this Alfredo going. Only a few ingredients to fettuccine Alfredo. And as I mentioned, not as friendly on the waistline, but that's all right. In moderation, we have a cup of heavy cream. We're gonna put that in here under low heat. To that, we're gonna add 1 stick or 4 ounces of butter. And we're gonna start to let that butter melt into the cream. We're gonna do this on low heat because at this point, we just wanna make sure it's all incorporated there nicely. That's gonna take a couple minutes. If I turned on that heat really hot, it would start this mixture boiling and it might break. So we don't want that. But we will at one point turn it up so it's got a rolling simmer in it so it can cook right before we add the 2 different cheeses we use. So we'll take a break real quick and I'll get that stirred a little more and we'll tell you the next steps. All right, now we've got the pasta cooking. The heavy cream and butter are mixing. This recipe calls for some garlic salt, but again, I like the real stuff, but I don't like it too overpowering. So I'm gonna do my own little smash trick. Put that right in there. And while this is cooking down, it's gonna infuse that nice garlic flavor. You don't want your fettuccine Alfredo to be too garlicky because then it just becomes overpowering. This will be perfect here. Let's check real quick on the pasta. If you see that, I like to agitate it, make sure all the noodles are separating. If you don't do this and you walk away and in 10 minutes, you're gonna pull it out and there'll be a clump of like 50 noodles all stuck together that didn't cook correctly, and you will not be popular when it comes to eating. So we're pretty good here. I've done this low and slow. Now I'm gonna bump it up a little more until we get that little rolling boil. But again, we still have about 6 or 7 minutes on that pasta, so we like to time it because our ultimate goal after we add our Parmesan cheese and our Romano cheeses, we're going to take this pasta without draining it, just scooping it up, putting that right into the sauce to let it finish cooking, which will make sure all of this good, rich sauce gets coated on that fettuccine. Let's take out the garlic because that's done its job. Put that out there. And you notice it's starting to just bubble a little bit there. This is when I add a pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. Perfect. Now, here I got about a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese and a 1/4 cup of Romano cheese. So we're gonna put that in. We're gonna stir this in and let it all melt in. It's not gonna take that long. Oh, you should smell that. That garlic did its job just enough to give it a garlic flavor, but not that overpowering, like every bite and you're just like, oh, raw garlic. So I'm gonna let this cook down just a little bit. You notice how it's starting to thicken up. As it cooks a little more, that cheese is gonna melt and that cream is gonna reduce down to the perfect consistency. I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit to about 4 or 5. Let the finishing touch go in. Always, we do give a little taste. Make sure. Oh, come on. This is so much better than anything you get at the fast food Olive Gardens. And it's all right here. Fairly inexpensive stuff that you normally have around. So we're ready to add the pasta. So let's go ahead, bring this over here. I'm gonna scoop, I'm gonna let a lot of the water out, no biggie. But I don't mind having a little bit of water because it's salted water. Give an extra little flavor. Do that, I'll do one more scoop here. Get that in. Wife and I will make a meal out of this. Perfect. In here. Don't let those noodles get away from you. Now we just stir it up. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's gonna be so tasty. Now, we like it a little extra sauce because we love to dip our bread in there and soak it up. So perfect. That is the exact consistency here that I like. If you like it a little tighter, a little more creamy, thicker, let it go a little longer. But to me, I'm ready to plate this. So we're gonna go over here. Get a nice scoop. Oh yeah, look at that. Just adheres to it nicely. Try to make it a little prettier. There. Turn that down. Now we're gonna show you the finishing touch. I like to add a little freshly grated Parmesan to the top and then some parsley to give it that nice little look. I got some bread here to dip in. Let's give it a try, shall we? This smells just like the kitchen at By the Bucket. And I'm so happy that I worked hard because not only did I learn Alfredo, I learned how to make their bread, how to throw pizza dough. So creamy, so worth the effort. I implore you to try this. Try it at home. You'll not want to go out to get it anymore. So enjoy. This is damn delicious.